Hi guys, and welcome back to SwitchUp. You can probably hear that I am a little bit excited. There's a massive sale on, and it makes doing sales videos way more interesting. Tone of voice. Now, first things first, congratulations to the person on the screen. Please ping us an email. We are going to provide you with your prize. It might be a £50 voucher. It might be a game. Remember to save an extra 10% as well using our code SwitchUp. That's until the end of February, so it's come at the perfect time. If it's not available in your region when you go onto switchup.gg to get your eShop cards, then just use a VPN and point it to somewhere where it is available. Job done. Remember how easy it is to set up a different region account? Now's the time to do it because these sales are Europe mainly. There are some that are in the US, but you don't seem to have quite the same discount just yet. As always, we're usually about a week or two ahead, either on the EU side or the US side, so I should imagine you'll get yours maybe at the end of the week. And don't worry, we'll also do a couple of videos for you. We're having 2 sales videos this week because we can't fit them all into one. We're going to have one on Sunday, so today, and also one on Monday. Sorry, that was an incredible amount of waffle, but it had to be done. That's actually just made me want a waffle. What's wrong with me? If you enjoy the video or you don't, push some buttons, push all the bells and whistles. I don't know what they do anymore, but it's always nice clicking something. I wish it made a clicky sound, but it doesn't, which is quite annoying. What's on sale? Well, let's find out. This list is comprised of games that very rarely go on sale, and most of them are the lowest ever price. Let's start off with an absolutely incredible game, and that's Phoenotopia Awakening. This got overlooked by so many people. It reminds me a lot of the original Zelda 2. It's currently 40% off, taking it down to £10.79. That is such a bargain, I can't tell you. There are 10 different weapons to find here and 50 different enemies. It's not about that, it's about the music. This game has a fantastic soundtrack. There were a few issues at launch and it still scored over 90%, but he's worked on it, they've patched it up, and you're looking around about 25 hours to do everything. And if you, well, not to do everything, if you want to do everything, maybe more like 50 hours. For loads of you, this might be a hidden gem. You should absolutely check out our full review of it. It's banging. Great game. Absolutely love it. That sale goes on until the 20th of February. This thing right here is called the Fixture S1. Originally a crowdfund, this version is currently for only owners of the base Switch model, with the OLED version being designed at the moment. Do not adjust your phones, do not adjust your screens. That is a SwitchUp branded accessory you are seeing right there. Now, it's not our design. This was actually created by a guy called Austin who wanted something that had his Pro controller and could be adjusted to hold his Nintendo Switch. His design allows you to adjust the screen so that it's completely above the controller so that it's in balance. There's also a stand underneath so that you can place it and balance it without it falling over, and adjust it and use that as a stand on its own. I always love it when someone goes out of their way to fix a problem that they have, and he's gone a step further. Now, most people that use this are going to want to be able to carry it around. So he's made it so that you can fold the Fixture S1 down with the screen still attached and then zip it up into this nice travel case. There's enough space so that nothing gets compressed, and he's also left a gap so that none of the buttons on the controller or the Switch can be pressed, which means they don't switch the Switch on and it doesn't overheat while it's being transported. Something that most cases don't think about. You can save $5 using code SwitchUp, and the links will be in the top pinned comment and the description. It's been great chatting to Austin. He's essentially an indie accessory designer, and just a big thanks to him really for reaching out to us. Next up, and a ludicrous price drop. We've got Xcom 2 collection, so the whole collection, all the DLC, everything you can possibly get in the world of Xcom, it's 90% off, taking it down to £3.99. I mean, you can't get a Savoy and chips for that. You can't get a bus pass for that. You cannot get a day travel card to London. In fact, you couldn't get a half of one. This includes the base game, the War of the Chosen, as well as 4 other DLC packs. Like, you're paying less than £1 just for the DLC packs each, and then like 50p for the base game. This is such a good tactical turn-based game. The graphics on Switch aren't great, but look, if you play games just for graphics, you probably got the wrong console. But for the core gameplay, it's brilliant. There have been a few patches since launch. This was crashing all over the shop to begin with. In my experience, I haven't experienced any crashes with the latest patches, but your mileage may vary. It's 24 gigs. That sale goes on until the 20th as well. Then we've got Darksiders 3. I don't think this has been on sale at all. I mean, it's only just come out, and it's a very good game. It's much more Souls-like than the other titles, and it's another that we've got a full review of on the channel, links in the description, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The problem I had was later in the game, there's some real performance issues. So maybe about 50-60% of the way in, there's a large open area, and it's just a bit of a mess. When you're indoors, it's okay, and it's completely open, this one, so you can move freely throughout the world. You can backtrack, forward track, and side track if you really want. But the combat, as I say, is a little bit different to the previous ones. But if you don't like it being let's say a tiny bit more strategic, then you can switch it to the more hack and slash, just button mashing style combat of old, which in fairness to developers is a nice touch. Personally, I think a bit of an unnecessary one. You know, choose what you want and go for it. It's your game, but you know, they're catering to multiple players. It's 30% off in the eShop or 40% off if you're buying it physically. Well worth it at this price though, and the first time it's ever gone on sale, especially at this discount. Man, this list is going to kill some wallets. There's just so many we've never had on sale. Then we've got Tales of Iron. This features Geralt of Rivia, well, it's his voice actor, Doug Cockle. I think that's his name, and it was developed by Oddbug Studios and published by United Label. Yet another we've reviewed on the channel, a huge hidden gem, brilliant score, and an excellent take on some Souls-like combat, some action-adventure, fantastic sound, audio, narration. Visually it looks great. You can do weapon crafting, forge your own armor. It's got a really nice storyline. It's perhaps a little bit on the short side, I guess. It's only around about 8 to 9 hours long, but there's also side quests and other hidden things that you can look for, as well as some great boss fights. But yeah, this is a brilliant game, and once again, I'm a bit sorry. This list is just going to get better and better, and it's going to cost, oh dear. That sale goes on until February the 20th. Yes, Mark, we know you're a massive space nerd. Well, that's all we need to say about it. Everspace, the Stellar Edition, is one of my favourite games on Switch. There's no two ways about it. It's half price. It very rarely goes on sale. It's a lovely roguelite in space. You might think you're accustomed to roguelites on Switch specifically because there are so many of them, but this does it so brilliantly. If you think about something like Hades, whereby the story is persistent regardless of how many times you die, that's exactly the same here. You're a clone, so that's how they get past that little nugget. And then every time you respawn, you'll have accumulated new wealth, you'll be able to buy different ships, and the little side quests that you'd started will still be carrying on. It includes the DLCs as well. It's got a delightful soundtrack. Just make sure you switch it to Control Scheme 3. Remember that, Control Scheme 3. It makes it much easier to pull off more tricky moves. The default control scheme was a bit naff, and they said they couldn't get gyro to work the way they wanted it to. Nah, I don't really buy that, but it is what it is. It's 4 gigs to download and easily 30 to 60 hours of gameplay here. That sale goes on until February the 20th. If you have an itchy Star Wars itch, oh dear, then I would suggest Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic if you're after some RPG goodness. Now at the moment that's 25% off, that's the cheapest it's been so far. That takes it down to £8.46, and for the amount of game that you're getting there, and if you can get past the fact that visually it looks a little bit, how do we say crap without saying that? It looks a bit crap. It has had a patch as well that reduced my biggest gripe, which is the big on-screen text bar that says you're in combat. Now I am doing an all patched up video at the moment about this because they haven't quite done what I would say is enough in that regard, and it's peed me off a little bit, so we will go over that in the all patched up video. Make sure you keep your eye out for that one. Still, the game's incredible. It's just as good as it ever was. It's clocking in at around about 12 gigs. Become a Jedi, get a group of mates around you in the game, and then choose whether you're going to be on the light side or the dark side. Now this is about 40 to 50 hours long in total. The sale goes on until February the 20th. Then we have our kids pick of the week, and I'm happy about this one because I've been able to save money. I already own this one on my Switch, but I've been able to buy it for my daughter, and my goodness is it saving. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, the complete edition, 80% off, down to £10.99. That is a bargain of the highest level. This one, in a way on Switch, got a little bit overlooked, and guilty as charged, it got overlooked by us as well, really. There are more than 300 different Digimon to collect, and in many ways it does a lot of the things that Pokemon has been trying to do for so long. It does them a bit better, honestly, particularly than the older Pokemon games. It looks great as well, it runs great, and if you want to catch them all, then you could be spending well over 100 hours on this one. So if you are after a good game for yourself or a pacifier for your kid, play experience for your kid, then this is the one. It's on sale until February the 20th. I think you're going to love the hidden gem this week, but this isn't the hidden gem. This is just a very good game. It's ultra aged. It's 30% off at the moment, taking it down to £18.89. It was made by 3 mates in China, and it's much better than it has any right to be. It's a fast-paced, almost Devil May Cry style action adventure game. You have different swords which will affect different enemies, but it also changes their movesets. Now, some of the boss fights are ludicrously difficult, so there's like a major difficulty spike towards the end of the game, and it does do, I don't want to spoil it, but it does something that's a bit annoying, which is to make you replay some of the bosses you've already fought. But it's still very cool, very worth it, and far higher production values than it should have. It has any right to be. I believe this one runs on the Unreal Engine 4, and it was clicking along at a nice pace. It's 30% off, as I say, and that's until February the 20th. And you're looking at a download size of about 4.9 gigs, and it's not the longest. It's around about 7 hours long. If you're after a very fun, old school co-op shooter, then consider Serious Sam the Collection. It's half price at the moment, and it has 1 to 4 player split screen. You play, obviously, as Sam Serious Stone, and it includes the Serious Sam HD the first encounter, Serious Sam HD the second encounter, as well as Serious Sam 3. It's a bit annoying it doesn't include all the games, and I'm sure they'll probably release the other one at some point, but there's a ton of content here. There's a few little performance hiccups, especially in the third game, but as I say, if you're after that multiplayer experience, then this is probably the way to go, and it's on sale until February the 20th, just like the others. We've got 2 more games because, well, normally we'd have 1 more. We're going to do 2 more because then we'll only have 1 avoid this week because there's just too many good games to talk about. And the first one I want to talk about, or I shouldn't say the first one, almost the penultimate one, is Monster Train. Don't discount this. This is a brilliant, I guess you could say it's a little bit like Slay the Spire in terms of mechanics. You have different cards. You're battling on this train. It has multiple levels. You've got to place your monsters and then they have to defend. There are different boss fights. There's a touch of RNG in here. There are over 280 different cards, so it really depends on your own skill as well and how you choose to use them. But there are multiple difficulty levels as well. There are 6 different monster clans. I can't really emphasize how fun this one is. It's one of those that's difficult to articulate until you actually play it and you're like, oh my goodness, it's like a contraband substance. It also includes the DLC pack, The Last Divinity, and it only clocks in at 1.2 gigs. It's like the perfect little bite-sized download, but a massive amount of gameplay. Really cool game, and it's on sale 30% off until February the 20th. Hidden gem then, here we go. It's Eldest Souls. It's 35% off, taking it down to £10.99. That's its lowest ever price, although this one is only on sale until February the 17th. And it's a reasonably short, if you're good enough, about 7 to 8 hours, boss rush style Souls-like. I was blown away by how good this was. It strips away a lot of the nonsense, so you won't find enemies within, the open world. You can wander around there, clues to find and other bits and bobs. But it's all about those boss fights. So if you're after a brutal boss rush game, this is the one. It does pixel art, which yes, we've seen a million times, but in my opinion it does it really well here. The boss battles themselves are well thought out. There'll be multi-stage affairs, and you can then completely customize your combat style with lots of different ability combinations. Really good game. I was very impressed, and at 10 quid, that's just about right, isn't it, for a sales pickup price? Remember that we do have another video tomorrow, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that if your wallet will take it. But there are 10 more at least that I'd like to go through that are rarely on sale that we should talk about. What we don't always talk about are the avoids. So let's just have a look quickly at one avoid that you should stay away from because it absolutely stinks. And if your PlayStation toting mate caught sight of it, you would never hear the end of it. This week we have to mention Hollow 2 because it's gone on sale. It's gone on a hefty sale. It's 33% off, taking it down to £12.05. I'd pay at least £10.05 not to play this game. Why is it so bad? Well, there's many reasons. The camera controls are terrible, so aiming is just awful. Visually, it's not great. The enemy variety, well, there isn't variety. It's like the enemy. They're all weird. They like saunter towards you as if they're going to ask you out on a cheap date, but then they try and eat you, so depends what kind of date you want, I guess, but it's not it's not that kind of game.
I've lost my train of thought now. That's your fault. But yeah, it's really bad. Just check out my full review if you'd like to. If you'd like to punish yourself even more and have a bit of a chuckle at the clear pain that's taking place in my voice. I'll also pop a link to that one in the description. This one's on sale until March the 9th. Avoid it that long and it might dissuade you from buying it. So that's it for this week. As I say, 10% off on our website, switchup.gg, so you can save more money on all of these games using code SwitchUp until the end of the month. GG to the person that won a free game last week. If you'd like to enter our roll-in sales competition, just leave your comments down below. Let us know what you've been playing. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to try and be clever. It's usually just a comment that looks good that we pick and that we think, yeah, I agree with that. Thanks to our patrons. You guys are amazing. You've looked after us and helped us out many a time when my mic has exploded. And we have now reached 236,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people. That's more people than I've ever shook hands with. But there you go. For all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers, guys. See ya!